Soccer mom season.
Chinese weightlifters, although not technically bodybuilders, have physiques that demonstrate aesthetics and muscularity similar to bodybuilders, even from the golden era of bodybuilding. Their training regime, which is distinct from many traditional weightlifting programs, is designed to build their bodies in a way that emphasizes both strength and aesthetics. The bulk of their training revolves around compound and isolation exercises to progress and get better in their sport. It's how the way they train, use of exercise selection, recovery, and the sheer intensity will show in their physiques. Compound exercises are the cornerstone of their training. These exercises work multiple muscle groups simultaneously, providing the most bang for their buck in terms of muscle building and strength gains. The Chinese weightlifters' compound exercises include the snatch, clean and jerk, back squats, deadlifts, and front squats. These exercises are performed near their max capacity for the most part of their training, pushing their bodies to the brink of overtraining, but with sufficient rest periods to recover. The snatch and clean and jerk are Olympic weightlifting movements that work a multitude of muscle groups. The snatch engages the traps, shoulders, back, and legs, while the clean and jerk works the same muscle groups but with an added emphasis of the shoulders and traps. Back squats, deadlifts, and front squats are fundamental compound exercises that target the lower body, specifically the quadriceps, hamstrings, and glutes, which results in tree trunk legs. They also engage the core and lower back. Hell, how the way they squat, high bar ass to grass, inspired me to squat like them. And as a result, I built some decent legs myself. Like, bruh, look at them legs, man. Look at them legs, bruh. That's from high intense squat training, dog. In addition to these compound exercises, Chinese weightlifters also perform isolation exercises to target specific muscles that may not be fully engaged during compound exercises. Isolation exercises are used to target muscles that aren't being worked to their full potential. They can help build more definition in the area that was overlooked by compound exercises, particularly when supersets. The Chinese weightlifting methodology is actually weakness correction. Once they come to an elite level where leg strength, back strength is all at its limit, less time is spent there. So instead of squatting and pulling heavy 4 or 5 times a week per exercise, it will reduce to perhaps 1 or 2, maybe 3 if the leg strength is decreasing. This goes on for about 3-4 weeks of hell. It's absolutely mental hell. Another 30 minutes is spent fixing their technique again at the session's end. Empty bar work done, problem changes, fix it again. Repetition after repetition in an intense environment like that will result in their bodies they built from all the work they put in. These guys spent years building their craft with full intensity and consistency, and it shows. A thing I can admire in their environment that they train in, they surround themselves with positivity and motivation. The testosterone is just too much once they're in a session. They push and help each other, push their very limits. It reminds me of the golden era bodybuilders and what Arnold said about their training partners.
I always believe 100% in a training partner. We had a habit of after we trained at Gold's Gym that we would go and all go and have lunch together. But we would watch each other. Yes, people would have steak and a hamburger patty and all this, but if someone had the bread with a hamburger patty, we would bust them right then and there. So if we were helping each other, again, this is the responsibility, I think, of a training partner, that you help each other, even though you may compete against each other.
How they keep each other accountable, making sure everybody stays right, focused, and not hindering themselves with the snacks and the cookies. Put the cookies down, bruh. The cookies down, bruh. There's a family dynamic, and they all grind with the purpose of bringing home a gold medal for their country. Chinese weightlifting is intense, and because of that intensity that they built a nice frame to show for it. If you improve your compound lifts and isolate your weak points and be consistent, it will result in a beach body for yourself. The last thing you want to do is give up. These guys train like no tomorrow. They push their limits day in and day out. Specific exercises, all compound and isolations. Compounds literally build you a nice frame. Once you start to build that frame, the isolations will work on your weak points. Once you see weak points, you spot those weak points and you sit there and be consistent with it. Improve on your weak points. That's where the isolations come into play. For the explanation of their conditioning is from the explosive movements. So like the clean and jerk, the snatch grip, the high pulls. Once they do a rep, you see the power each rep. You think all these power movements will contribute to the lean aesthetic look. You have to imagine the heart rate going absolutely crazy, especially once they keep doing reps of clean and jerks and snatches. All those power movements on top of the bodybuilding style movements that they do with the compound and isolations will result in that look, but it's the sheer intensity that they train in is big. Compounds and isolations and intensity alongside of being consistent with the plan. And their goals is to get better in the sport of the Olympics. Get better at the snatch, the clean and jerk. All those big time exercises are not easy feats, especially if you're doing knees for over 300 to 400 pounds that they do overhead. That's resulting to the crazy backs, traps, and shoulders. You think about it, all those high pulls, upright rows that they gotta do to build that rotational movement for the overhead snatches and stuff like that, man. They gotta go crazy hard in the paint. But it's a mindset once you're alongside with this stuff, man. The mindset of, man, I need that gold medal for my country. And you would do whatever it takes to get that medal. It's a goal that they set for themselves, man. They chasing for it. They chasing for the medal. So if you apply that same mindset towards yourself to where, look, I want to be the best I can be at whatever thing I ever set myself to be. You be intense with it. You be consistent with it. You set these mini goals for the ultimate goal. Those mini goals get better at the compounds and isolations to build your base. And then you're gonna work on top of your base. What skills do you want? Do you want to get better when it comes down to strength, aesthetics, and performance? If you're looking for aesthetics, you better make sure that diet is on check. Obviously, these guys gotta eat to perform better at their sport. But they burning all kinds of calories anyways because how the way they train. Always keep track of the amount of calories you eat, making sure you eat foods that's gonna fuel you for each gym session. Choose exercise selection that's gonna apply to your goals. Be intense and be serious about your exercising, your working out, or whatever goal you got in mind that you want to do out of life. You chase it. But the one and number one thing is to not give up. Eliminate all the self-doubt. Do you see these Chinese weightlifters doubting themselves once they step on stage and do they lift? They have confidence in themselves. They're going to achieve whatever they want to achieve. That's going to be you. Do not give up on yourself. And that's for real.